watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are... Rope Break! And Jean-Paul, we're celebrating, is AEW Dynamite? No, we're really celebrating? I don't think so, not too much, but we're celebrating 30 years of Le Champion. So, Jean-Paul, we're all excited. No, I don't think we're not. It's okay, it was a pretty decent show for, most of the things, but like you always say, I think the tag team division is the worst point right now. The women's is not even a point because it's just, not even there. Because, there was no bill for anything in regards to the women. But the tag team division needs a lot of tweaks. And that's the one thing. If AEW can do something better, I will say they should focus on that. What do you think, Mr. Laek?
After watching this whole show, seeing everything, the only thing I really am looking forward to is, the match with Moxley and Lance Archer and the tournament to determine #1 contender. To me, everything else in this show is just, like I said, it's a legit meal. And then it's like, oh, what kind of sauce do you want? Do you want ranch? Do you want, what do you want? No, we're going to pour shit sauce and ruin your entire meal. And it's like you have a legit base, but they end up just ruining it with, bad booking and bad creative. A lot of things are not
like the way that they should be done. We actually have a brand new TNT champion. Brand new or once again? Once again, because we both, like we said, we can actually say both of us out loud. Rest in peace, Brodie Lee. Rest in peace, the Dark Order. Rest in peace, everything you did with the Dark Order, just because it didn't make any sense. But thank you so very much, family, for all the support, all the comments that we get in our videos. As you guys see, we're improving and growing. And don't forget to check with Jean-Paul Eck. Great review talking about everything that happened on Monday Night Raw on Monday night. And that was Ali is pretty much the leader of Retribution. So don't forget to check that out with Jean-Paul. Also, more developing on Liga and Buddy Murphy, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell. So all of that with Jean-Paul, don't forget to check that out. And see, Jean-Paul, right here, I have the menu for you for tonight. For Dynamite, right here, you can see it. So overall, I feel that, like you said, if they would have tweaked some things, I think it would be a much better show. But, Tony Khan, in a lot of ways, I think that, he wasted his talent. So let's start from, the first match, Mr. Leek. Well, let's talk about the FTDF the World, or Fuck the World Championship match, and that is Brian Cage with Will Hobbs. I think that, this match was good, but, having 5 men on commentary made it, hard for me to follow. What do you think on this?
Yeah, we said it last week with Ricky Starks. It makes sense for Taz to be on the floor with his guys. I'm not saying, Ricky Starks just on commentary, because he was just you can tell he didn't want to be there, and they're probably be on commentary, and he's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I don't like it because, Shivani and, Excalibur, which I'm fine with that, but, they didn't really get to say much. It was just JR and Taz, which if Taz wasn't involved with these guys, that's who I would have my commentary team be, just the two of them, JR and Taz. I think they have the best chemistry together, and they can call legit stuff. But, this match, it was good. It was just two, like they said, just two semi-trucks just, colliding, beating the hell out of each other. I don't, a lot of people behind Will Hobbs pushing him. I think it's just the Big E effect. I think that's just their version of him. I didn't think he was going
right? A little bit of Kid Lee, Willie Mack, Big
E. Yeah. I would go more Big E because he doesn't have the big belly, but, it was the right guy won. Obviously, you're not going to Brian, and it's a title that don't even mean anything. That's like saying if I walk in with a Walmart, NXT title, oh, look at me, I'm going to defend this.
Exactly.
The belt essentially doesn't mean anything.
Not even yes.
Yeah, it was a good, hard-hitting match. There was a couple spots, when Brian Cage, when he does, the standing moonsault, I'm I see every other big man do it, so unfortunately, that's not really impressive. So it still is impressive, but it doesn't have, the same effect. But I don't know. The match was all right. A decent way to open the show. I think I didn't really have any complaints with it.
No, it was okay. And also, like you guys see over here, in the end, of course, Brian Cage got the win, and that was good. And he was about to beat the crap out of Hobbs one more time, but then Taz is hold on, don't do anything quite yet. And then he's just well, I'm gonna give you a chance for you to join us and be part of the Taz group, or and then you just gotta say yes. We will not do anything with you. If you say no, we will beat the living crap out of you. And then once again, Jean-Paul Darby out. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know where this is going, but definitely I'm not a fan. And this is probably going to set up a tag team match between these four guys, I believe. What is
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it could have just been something where like Hobbs. I mean, I don't hate this too much because it's not like Darby Allin hit the ring and beat the shit out of him. He was just like, hey, man, get out of here, leave him alone, and Ricky Starks was like, all right, I'll leave, and he left. And then, it was, I mean, that I'm fine with. I just hate when it's like everything has to be a beat down and like guys getting jumped, hey, come out, help your friend, because I guess Darby Allin and him are friends. But yeah, I think it'll be setting up a tag match next week, and hopefully this means that Ricky Starks and Darby Allin's feud isn't over, because I would like to see them have a more legit match, and maybe on like a pay-per-view or something.
It will look really good for Full Gear. It will be like good opening match at Full Gear. So I agree with you. I think that should be the way that they should do it. And then of course throughout the whole show they had like people like celebrities, wrestlers, and like kind of like saying happy 30 years to Chris Jericho, because as you guys see, it was like the 30th anniversary of Chris Jericho as a professional wrestler. Like Jean Paul said, it's really legit that he's doing this. But because they don't have any footage from WWE, from WCW, from Smoky Mountain, they can't even show absolutely anything with Jericho related. But family, like the whole show pretty much was around the 30 years of Chris Jericho. So we have like this great picture for Jean Paul, because I know he loves him. The ace, New Japan's Hiroshi Tanahashi. So he was like, "Oh, Jericho, oh, congratulations, 30 years."
Yeah, I don't know who's worse, him or Andrade.
I won't say it's a tie.
Oh, come on. Oh, no. Hiroshi is way worse than Andrade's way easier to understand.
You know that Andrade hurts me every single time because one of my boys. You know what I mean? It's like I feel it like deep down. It came. Tanahashi's awesome though. One of the greatest wrestlers in our generation.
And I'm not saying anything, but is this maybe like, maybe crossover, maybe he'll pop up or something? This could be.
And that's where I was gonna go. I knew you would mention something like that, because you and me talk about this in Wrestle Kingdom, and we say that I mean both of them will merge. When we're talking about New Japan and AEW, they will really put like a really big competition to WWE. And Jean Paul, like New Japan's president, he just quit a few weeks ago. And like another person like just took over, and this guy is said to be more happy or like more willing to have a relationship with AEW, because the other person really didn't like that. Why? Because of the way that Kenny Omega left. So he was really sour about that. So we'll see what happens. But like good observation, and we had like Lars Ulrich from Metallica, from Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Shaquille O'Neal. We had like so many people.
Slash. I was gonna say, don't forget Slash.
Ultimo Dragon, also like for Jean Paul. We got Bully Ray that didn't say anything, which that's legit, because we don't really pop for Bully Ray too much, unless he's talking about Impact. Then I'll be okay with that. But like Lance Storm, Chavo, like you said, so a lot of people just mentioned 30 years of Le Champion, because right there. Everybody's happy.
And I mean, because of what we said, not like to laugh at it, but hey, you can't use any of his legit footage. You can only use stuff from like his early Japan days, or like you said, when he was just over there the last year or so. But I mean, this was a good way to do it. Just have all his friends, his other celebrities be like, "Hey, Chris, you're legit." I mean, that was a way to do it. If you can't use any of the footage.
Jean Paul, you're legit. Or like, from JP, remember like from PS to like CG or something like that. Like from Paul Stanley said that. So like, yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a really nice way to like showcase the career of Chris Jericho. I mean, he said in an interview, Jean Paul, is like, if I wouldn't be in AEW right now, I probably wouldn't be wrestling anymore. So you can tell how disappointed and sad and frustrated he was in WWE. So like this for him is like, at least they showcase him like the way that, like, for example, like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin is portraying WWE. Like maybe he never got that kind of like legitimacy in WWE. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was never the guy. He was like the champion, but he was never the guy.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And but even in AEW, he was only the guy until Moxley came in, and then like you know how I feel about the feud with Orange Cassidy. So it's like that. To me, that like lowered him down. That pretty much put him back in like the WWE role.
Oh yeah,
where it's like, okay, yeah, you're just gonna lose to like the mid card guy.
Absolutely,
because it's not like Orange Cassidy beat Jericho and then challenged Moxley and then beat Moxley. Then which I wouldn't agree with, but then I would at least be like, okay, it was a legit progression.
Or like that's why they did it. That's how like he became his rise to become like top like main event guy. But like it didn't happen that way. So let's move on. Jump what you said about friends. Let's talk about like the tag team champions, and that's FTR. They went to against TH2. They went with like against them. This was a good match when it comes to like high flying style in the TH2, but then also like of course like the real old school fashion revival or FTR like tag team match. See, and I like this, but then the promo that came afterwards, that was like really really weak for me. I didn't really like it, and kind of it took away the match for me because I was enjoying this a little bit.
Yeah.
FTR finally looked like legit tag teams rather than lose to the B team and things like the stuff that they had to do in the WWE.
Yeah, I like this match. I don't know if I really like Angelico. Jack Evans, I don't know if he got fucked up or what happened, but like towards the end of this thing, he couldn't like hit any moves he was trying to go for. It looks like Dax was like pretty much like carrying him like literally and figuratively through the end of the match. So I don't know what that was, but like I said, Angelico I really like. If they would ever split up, I could see him kind of getting a little bit of a singles push. But the match was good. I like the ending. I like how they don't have to hit their finisher every time to win. He kind of did that German, Dax did the German suplex, and then Cash, he did like a big splash, 1, 2, 3. So that was legit. I like how it's like, oh, we can beat you with a devastating move. It doesn't have to be our finisher, though.
Oh yeah, well, and then see that's the thing. Don't you agree though? Also, or like, have you noticed that for example, when it's a team that is not even like recognizable, it's a team that like it could be like second tier, third tier.
Yeah,
the finish is not even necessary. Well,
yeah, which is how it should be.
Yeah, that's how like is like you always keep the finisher intact for like like for example, let's say in this case the best friends. But like we have in the picture right there, like they were celebrating, but then the best friends came, and then when Jean Paul like really, is right though. Jean Paul is absolutely right on this. Like this is when it becomes like try to be comedic, try to be like funny, and it doesn't come out that way. I mean, the best friends are good, but like you said, like they're losing like their seriousness because once they won like the street fight match. I was like, okay, these guys are believable. They're good. I'm gonna get behind them. But then when they come with this kind of shirt, you see it right there in the picture with the weenies and all of that, and they are mocking the FTR. They put like that big thing on the Titantron, and they're like, "Oh guys, like we're not saying anything. Well, you guys are just weenies," and Chucky looks like a freaking idiot. I don't know. I don't like the look because Trent looks like, okay, I'm a wrestler. I'm ready to beat you up, but then Chucky's like, so I'm friends with him. And we'll reveal, Jean Paul. Like you said that like next week because the next week is the NEW's anniversary. It's been a year already. The pandemic has taken a lot of months out of our life, and they're gonna be challenging to FTR for the tag titles. So now, like, I need X thoughts on this.
Yeah, I hate this promo. They were in a bullshit feud, but it at least had a good blow off, and it's like, okay, now maybe this will kind of get the best friends on track. Orange Cassidy's kind of split off from them. Maybe they can get a little bit more serious. And then, nope, Orange Cassidy's back with them. Nothing. It's not like he has a singles run. They're calling people weenies, nothing serious. And FTR is, that you brought them in to be serious, to add some legitimacy and seriousness to the tag team division that at one point was the best. And now they're all just jokers and the legit teams aren't even teams anymore. And, nobody knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't like this. The whole tag team thing is a mess. Then, was it before or afterwards when they showed? I think it was after all this. Then they showed the Bucks. They're watching this, and then they're like, "Oh, like hey, are you spying on us, cameraman?" And they're like, "Oh, like what do you want to do?" And they're like, our favorite move? Yeah, our favorite move." Then they super kick him, and then immediately, like, I don't understand why you can't super kick a guy, be like, "You're a piece of shit," keep kicking him while he's down, and end the segment. They have to immediately be like, "Oh, sorry about that, bud."
Yeah, that's the main thing exactly. I want to like elaborate on that just like a little bit because you're right. Okay, so you're heel and then you're apologizing for it. Like sorry, I super kick. Sorry, I do everything, and then you want to throw money at him. So what is like the message that you're trying to say?
And also, how much of a pussy is Tony Schiavone? When they asked him, "Oh, what happened about you last week?" "Oh, I don't know." Oh, it's awkward. Awkward. If somebody super kicks me, I'm either gonna beat the shit out of them or I'm gonna, have them arrested.
Exactly. Now
I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, it's awkward." Like,
I didn't like this at all. Like, again, like the worst point right now in AEW that started out with like one of the greatest points or like the strongest point is the tag team division because like remember at the beginning, Bucks looking like Bucks, like Lucha Bros and then Butcher and Blake kind of.
You take all the legit teams, SCU, the Lucha Bros, two legit teams there. Now you have FTR. You have these teams, but two of those teams really, like, they've gone down. They're not even mid-card. They're bullshit now.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. They're not really using their talent at the top of their ability. They're not doing that. They're not using those tag teams. Pride and Powerful. What are they?
Yeah, they're just lackeys.
Yeah, lackeys. And like Jean Paul said, and for all of you guys, next week, anniversary of Dynamite, Tag Team Championship match, right there. Best friends, number one contenders going against FTR. This, if it is taken seriously, should be a great match. Taken seriously.
I mean, I think it'll be a good match, but again, it's another one of those where FTR is not going to lose.
No, I really hope not.
The feud is them and the Bucks. That's what they're leading towards, and I mean I'm fine with that. But I mean, this match is, hey, let's celebrate the anniversary show. Thanks for coming, best friends. But it's one of the things that I keep saying with AEW is they keep giving people title opportunities each and every week. It seems like, and one that makes the titles not look that meaningful because you can just do anything to earn a title shot. And two, how many times can people keep losing these title shots before it's like, oh well, they're not going to win.
Yes, I have to agree. It's like they need to save a lot of matches for pay-per-view. They cannot be falling into the same trap that like WCW used to do. Spoil the main matches in like regular TV just to beat NXT. It should not be that way. But we're moving about like in one case that like was really apparent is this dog collar match, Jean Paul. TNT Championship match on the line, and that was Mr. Brodie Lee defending against Cody. And like we said, pretty much this guy absolutely dead. So rest in peace, Dark Order. Rest in peace, Brodie Lee. You came thinking that we're going to be treated different. My friend, I have news for you. You're just like another Luke Harper. You came in.
And it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. Before we go into this, I want to ask you a quick question. And I want what your opinion on this is. Somebody said that all these guys who left WWE, ex-WWE guys, besides Cody, and that's only because he has the power to put himself in the main event, everyone who left WWE is in the exact same role they were in WWE. Brodie Lee, mid-card, okay, he held the belt. Oh, he had blink of an eye, done. Yeah. John Moxley goes from, he was main event in WWE most of his time there. He's main event here. Jericho, same thing. Main event, like, haha, funny bullshit stuff, but also main event. Miro debuted as a main event tag team guy. It's like all these guys, none of them are like, oh, let's push this guy because, if he leaves WWE, he'll be a big star. No, you put him in the exact same position on the card as they were in WWE.
Oh, yeah. No, at least. And then that is something that you and me have talked about before. At least Impact knows how to make better decisions with them. Brian Myers, like, doing really great. So sorry, Mark Cardona. He's not even on a contract anymore. His dates are.
No, that's probably why. Don't be surprised if he shows up in Impact. He's probably like, "Fuck this."
Yeah. See, and they do feel that way. Miro, like you said, absolutely right.
At least he got the pay-per-view payday from Tony Khan. So he can buy more action figures now.
That's true. Yeah, but because even Heath, the storyline on Impact is going really well. Like remember yesterday, like they couldn't come up to an agreement. It's like, oh well, it came out bad. I see that. Is a better story than Matt Cardona right here, or like Miro just not showing up, and my wife gets put through a table every single week. If you don't believe me, watch Jean Paul every single Monday Night Raw, like the same spot all the time, 3 times already, 3 weeks in a row. So it's true. I agree with you, and it sucks, but it shows me that maybe the talent itself, they're just meant to be mid-card. If you're not gonna put the work, or if you're not gonna do your best effort to be like portrayed legit or be booked correctly. Then then this match talk about it. I mean, right there. And walk me through the first because you were really upset because the guy that you call Hornswoggle on roids got busted open in
the whole thing is Cody comes out, he's with Arn, he's with Brandy, and I was like, are you kidding me? Brandy was out there, but just the whole scenario with her, she didn't really get involved. There was no bullshit with her during the match, so I was fine with that. That's where I'm like, okay, Brandy legit. But then he comes out with Anna Jay and John Silver, the guy who's like 4'11", maybe if he's on his tippy toes, and he gets blood right away. He's up on the apron, and Cody punches him off. Immediately, he's bleeding. So for me, that takes away anytime you see blood somewhere else. Now, obviously, his was just like a little bit like duh, and theirs was like duh. There's really bad, and so it's like okay, it was worse, but it's still like, why did he have to bleed? What was the purpose of that? And then he was in a chair, and then Brodie Lee moved out of the way. Cody drop kicked him in the chair, and it was then he was taken out, and then that's when the match for me got a little bit more legit.
Yes,
and it was good. It was hard hitting. Of course, they set up a table, and he does a package pile driver, and of course that's during the commercial.
Oh yeah, but see that's another thing that I agree with you. They should have saved this. I told you this. They should have saved this for pay-per-view. because like this started out really slow for me. Like the spots were okay, like you said, some executions. Like anytime that there's a big spot, oh no, they go in the picture in picture, so I don't really can see it. And like Cody started bleeding right away, and I mean it's good. You could feel that like they were both uncomfortable with the collar, with like the chain or like you had their spots that they missed. There was a lot of botches because both of them like they had to walk through like the chain, walk like by it and stuff like that. And like I remember Cody Lee missed a super kick. And then and of course like they kind of did the WWE way. Oh, he couldn't get everything on it, but like the second time he did. So I mean, it was like that.
And the chain came loose twice, and like in the middle of the match, the ref has to be like, "Oh, excuse me," and retighten the chain, and I'm like, it just kills all the momentum. It's like, okay.
And again, but like I feel that like and that is somewhere they have Greg Valentine in the crowd also, like because why though he got a dog collar match with like Roddy Piper. Okay. And okay, is there any other reason? And the guy's just like there. So
and I love how they're like, oh, he had his hands at his mouth. Was he yelling something to Cody? I'm like, he was probably yawning.
Yeah,
he was like Tyson when Tyson fell asleep.
Add another zero to my check because I got to see this. But I mean, like you said, I think they just missed out on this opportunity. After like the thing with like Hornswoggle, I was like cool. I'm like okay, but still like it was too slow for me. He did the crossroads from Brodie kicks out of one the first time, so the match kept going. He went for a power bomb. He did the power bomb. I just didn't like the ending either. Just because like I was hoping for Brodie Lee to establish himself as a credible figure, and finally the Dark Order kind of looked decent for the first time throughout a year of AEW. No, it did not happen that way, Jean Paul, because Cody was able to. Well, also like Arn Anderson did a spine buster.
And I mean, I don't want to talk shit on Arn Anderson. He hit that spine buster. He like bounced. He could barely stand up.
Yeah.
Why do you make him? And I'm not gonna be like, oh, Arn, you're bullshit, because I'm sure he wasn't like, oh, I want to do a spine buster tonight. They're probably like, Arn, go out and do this. Like, why do you make him do this? Look at the shape that he's in. Well, and it's a very round shape. First of all,
that's my
and
problem.
It's like, why?
That's my problem. Why do you need the spot? I don't understand why Arn Anderson is needed, because you're just the coach, you're just the manager.
Because they know marks will pop. Oh, we bring in Greg Valentine. Oh, the marks will pop. Arn Anderson, the marks will pop.
Yeah, it seems that way, but like in the end, like Cody was able to finally put a chain around like Brodie Lee's face, and then he started beating him up, and that's it up for Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, it cannot be that way. It's not gonna happen. Oh yeah, it did. And once again, TNT champion Cody, and there were a lot of people in the crowd. Little by little, as you probably heard this already, like the Florida governor said that like there's the restrictions for like limited amounts of people are kind of lifted, so they probably can have now like really like big crowds during the show. So like that's gonna be different. We'll see what happens on that. But he was almost crying. Oh, like they told me that like
I was crying too, Cody. Don't worry. Different reason.
Yes, they were both crying. Yes, and well, it's like Jean Paul is not the only one that disagrees. I disagree with that also, because it's just like, again, the Dark Order for me was more meaningful than Cody establishing himself as a guy that he already is. So there's no reason for you to carry the belt, or if you were thinking of this, what was the reason for Brodie Lee to win the title when he didn't do anything with it? He only had one title defense, and that was against Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
while Cody had like 4 of them.
Yeah, and again, he was defending it every week to try to be like, oh, I'm legit, open challenge, again, stroking his own ego. And he did that here tonight. And I know, like I said, he's the golden boy. I get it. Everybody, loves Dusty Rhodes. And I'm not going to be like, say anything mean or whatever. But everybody loves Dusty no matter what. And it's like, okay, so they just love Cody by default, I guess. But, he puts himself over all the time. And it wasn't like he was gone for a long time. It wasn't like, he was
on to a year.
Yeah, then I'd be like, okay, this is legit. Then I wouldn't hate it. Like you said, it was 5 weeks. It's like, okay, let's finally get the Dark Order over. Let's finally do something with them. Then Brodie Lee loses. Where can he go from this? It's not like he can be like, oh, that was bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to challenge Jon Moxley now, because he already did that and lost.
Oh, exactly, yeah. And that's the one thing is like, and if you see people that don't like this, it's because of these reasons. There's not a way for me to get behind the Dark Order when they become just losers. Losers on a big scale, on a big match, they never win. And Cody pulled himself over all the time. And it's like, if you want your company to be better, if you want your company to rise up and give me something different than WWE, Don't do this. Because you're giving me the same freaking thing that you do with Roman Reigns, that you do with Rhea Ripley at times, that you did with John Cena at a time. And then, oh yeah, like, we're different. Where's the difference?
No, there isn't, and there's clearly no creative. You have a bunch of people now. I know Hangman's in the tournament, and there's a lot of other guys in this tournament to be the number one contender for Jon Moxley. But then Cody cuts his promo about how, I'm going to be legit, and I'm going to defend it next week. It's a year at Dynamite, blah, blah, blah. And then who comes out? Orange Cassidy comes out, and it's like he just had a chance at the title at Brodie Lee. He lost. You know what that means? You go to the back of the line. You earn your title shot back, But see that's the problem. They had all the guys who they pushed, the Jungle Boys, the Scorpio Skies, I won't say Sonny Kiss and like Warhorse and those other bullshit people, but the legit people who he went against lost. So now what? Now it's like, we don't know who to go against Orange Cassidy, and if he drops it to Orange Cassidy, that's just as bad as him beating Brodie Lee for it. Now, if they would have done something where Cody, because he's only off TV for 5 weeks, if he never lost the belt, was just like, blah, 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 I'm still champ, whatever, then came back and lost it to Orange Cassidy, then I'd be like, okay. But you got to go from Brodie Lee to Cody to Orange. It doesn't make any sense.
And the one thing is, like, you're just going to hold it for 1 week. I mean, hopefully, if that would be the case, the only reason I will be okay with it is, like, if Cassidy has a really long reign, and then Cody kind of disappears from TV one more time. But like,
what would be the point?
Well, it's just more like, okay, let's. I wanted to be the one that wanted to drop it to Cassidy, not Brodie Lee. Like those kind of things, and like, oh yeah, I want to be the guy because it's my company. So it's more like it's more politics.
I didn't know he changed his names from Runnels or whatever to Khan.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make sense. I'm not supporting it all, and this is like that's why. Like, I don't like it, and like a lot of new members of the tournament were revealed. Also, there was Wardlow. There's going to be Colt Cabana. It's going to be who else? Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah, they said Kenny. It was Kenny Phoenix.
Page.
Yeah, this week. Yeah, they said Hangman Page.
And the promo that he cut was pretty decent though. The promo that he cut, like more intense, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna win because it's finally I can go for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship and I can fulfill my destiny, be the guy that like everybody knows I could be, or I am. I should be." It's like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're a cowboy, if you wear like the vest, if you wear like your thingy, if you're a drunk, if you're an alcoholic, if you're on crack, if you're like in heroin, whatever you do, I'm still gonna win because I'm Kenny Omega. I like that because
and I like everything you said. He's kind of putting the guys over here and there a little bit, but he was like, if there's a tournament in wrestling, I've been in it, I won it. And then when Marvez was like, well, what do you think about MJF being, or not MJF, Hangman Page being in this? And he's like, well, some tag team wrestlers are in the tournament and blah, blah, blah. Like, so I do like that, but we'll see. I think he's got to win the tournament. He's got to win against Moxley or Lance Archer, and then we got to go full cleaner.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully that's like what they really do because that could save, AEW a little bit, and that's, I feel like that's the only thing that like can make AEW again extremely exciting because it's just like you said, the tag team, they could have been in a different place right now. The women's, there's not really the fact that they have to bring Thunder Rosa. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. Like, she's amazing, she's a great talent, but see, like they have to look elsewhere because they know there's nothing in. So
because and then this will be a good segue to the women's match, but it's because when the company first started, they put all their stock into the Japanese Joshi wrestlers.
Yeah.
But see, all the legit ones like Io Shirai and Kairi Sane and Asuka and all them were employed in WWE. So it's like, who'd you bring in? People nobody cares about.
Nyla Rose is not doing anything. Chris Statlander, unfortunately, is still injured. I mean, Baker is coming back, so that's okay. So they gave us this match, and that was like Big Swole against Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb is like absolutely a great wrestler, but she's a trainer. She doesn't have a character. She will never be champion because that's not what she's meant to be. She had a thing that like she's in the AEW kind of like to be like the same role as Natalia. Is hey, you will have matches, cool, but also like backstage you're gonna help our girls to be better, to improve. You're developing the girls, and as a payout, we're just gonna let you have some matches.
And I would work that into a storyline where she's kind of trained somebody and is their coach, and then maybe they win the belt and she turns on them and can maybe win the belt from them, and then you use somebody else to take it from her because I think she's too talented, and they put her over for her independent career and stuff. But it would be nice to see her have like a major women's championship on television. But
yeah, I mean, if they do that, cool. But like I said, for at least I will not be against it. I'm just saying, like, I feel that like when I see her, it just strikes me as Natalia.
oh no, that's how
developer. Hey, things because of me, we get to see a Britt Baker more intense, better, a Big Swole even better, and so on like that. And see, this match was absolutely good. But like you said, also they put this match in the card in the place that like everybody's just like, well, you know what? I gotta get ready for Jericho. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get my coffee. I'm gonna get my juice in John Paul's jargon.
Mm-hmm.
So like nobody really pay attention to this, despite being good. Big Swole got the win, but also like, okay, where does Big Swole was from this? Coming from the feud with Britt Baker.
Well, yeah, they said she's the number 2 contender, and it's like, the number 1 contender. Or no, she's the number 2 ranked. So I guess I don't know. See, I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're the number 1 contender or not?
No,
because the ranking and
that should be somebody that's number 1, and that should be the number 1 contender. That might be Britt Baker.
Yeah, but then if the number 1 ranked woman isn't the champion, is she the number 0 ranked woman? You know what I mean? Or is she not on the ranking?
The gaps that
But I mean, with this, it's I don't think it's the same thing with Cody and Orange Cassidy, a face versus face. To me, I can't get invested in that match. I don't give a shit. If you have Big Swole versus Hikaru Shida, face versus face, I don't give a shit. I don't care. It's got to be Britt Baker beat Shida, and then you have the feud there with Swole. But I don't want Baker to lose to Swole either. Like if Baker wins, I want her to be the champ for a decent while. So we'll see where they go.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of like places where they could tweak it and make us like feel like the stories carry on in a good way. So like that, at least that's for me where like they need to improve. The worst Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose, nowhere to be found. Anna Jay, the Dark Order, done. Exactly. So like a lot of like wasted opportunities, and that's maybe what they should really think about the first year. Is like, where did we do what's the stuff that we did good and what's the stuff that we did wrong. And it should be women's division, tag team division. We had the talent in the world. We didn't use it. So now we just have to focus on that, at least for me. So now let's talk about Jean Paul, the 30 years of Le Champion. That was like the main event. And he got a match with like his friend Luther and Serpentico Chaos Project. And like you said, I mean, the match actually like put Luther and Serpentico in a good place because I don't think they've been on Dynamite twice. And AEW Dynamite, because in Dark they're like pretty much the main event.
Well, remember Luther was in the Nightmare Collective or whatever.
Yeah. So like it was a decent match, but like you said, like I think that like if Jericho and Hager wants to be presented as a real tag, it should have been like a 3-minute thing, but that wasn't the case. So no, it was just more just to showcase like Le Champion's career. Everybody loves Jericho, and I mean rightfully so. I think that like he's done a lot of things for wrestling, cross promoting with Rock and everything, and having the podcast. He's been able to cross over, like I said, like having different things from wrestling and not really going to Hollywood. But like I think this match didn't mean anything. It was just for like a Judas effect, and then the 1, 2, 3. Am I wrong, Jean Paul, on my assessment? Or?
No, it definitely went way too long. Serpentico, I don't really care for too much. Luther, maybe back in the day, I would have been like, oh, this guy's okay. Maybe now. There was a spot where he was up on the ropes in the corner, and he was holding Jericho's hands, and he was gonna like jump off and like do some move or something, and Jericho had to like bounce Luther because clearly he's not like in any type of shape to be on the top rope, and it's like it just looks so bad. You could clearly tell they were cooperating, and it's like like why is this match still going on? Like you said, should have been 3 minutes and done, Judas effect, but it's because what did we say? All they could do was these little, hey Jericho, you're legit. Yeah. They couldn't be like, oh look at when I beat Rock and Austin and everybody in the same night. Nothing.
Like you said, like they don't have any right to the footage, so
yeah.
Not a lot you can say, but like let's go before we just like finish the show right there. There was a really great promo by Jon Moxley. I know you enjoy that, and I did too. Why? Because they did acknowledge their past. Lance Archer and Moxley said, "Hey, we fought each other before, the New Japan days, because even Moxley was like the United States champion for New Japan, and he took the title away from. No, he defended against Lance Archer in Wrestle Kingdom. So they did say, hey, this guy is good, like talking really good about each other, but in a mean way. So like they're gonna have like the blow-off match in the anniversary show, and I think it's gonna be a good match. But like I like how Moxley Moxley to me is like way better in promo than what it is like actually having the match. Because remember, he said, I beat every single guy, but when you're the champ, you just like have to wait for another one to step in. That's the life of a champ. But it's like, and I don't feel happy because of this situation that are happening. But like in the end of the, next week I'm just gonna beat Lance Archer and want to still remain champ. So I like this. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a great promo by him. Like, he's a hell of a promo. Lance Archer too. I mean, I'd rather have Jake do the talking, but Lance isn't bad either. I'm excited for this match. I think it'll be good, just for the fact that I really hope Lance goes over. I think that'll be good for him. If not, I mean, hey, Moxley, whether he wins or not, like he said, his days are numbered, because I think when Kenny Omega wins, they got to go with him. There's no way.
Yeah. And if they do Moxley and Omega, it will be absolutely fantastic. But like you said, Omega cleaner. Omega finally, like, and I like the shots that you were saying, Omega, the tag team wrestler and Adam Hanman Page. But this promo, like I said, Moxley, he's like, when people compare him to Stone Cold Steve Austin, is like, and you always like put that idea there. After the injury, Stone Cold became a brawler. Okay, so that's John Moxley for me. Legit on the promo, decent wrestler at most. Never like, oh my gosh, like his matches are great. The only one that I can really tell you, John Moxley, there's two. William Regal, and that's on NXT days when they actually allowed him to wrestle even more, and the one with Kenny Omega. But other than that, I don't remember a really great match that I can say, oh, John Moxley, or Dean Ambrose at that time. Oh, he stole the show. No. Or the dead matches that he had previous in his career, but not, in TV, or like he had like national exposure, at least for me. But yeah, that was good. And then in the end, Jean-Paul, the show, MJF came out, and they had a little thing with Jericho. But like, see, I think they brought it in character, because he came out, he had like a thing with like Wardlow, and then he had like what is it, like Clownico? Or like
Yeah, he just had the clown come out, and the clown, he's like, oh, it's, oh, you're not laughing at the clown? Well, okay, well, he has a gift for you, and it was just a picture of MJF, and Jericho was like, oh, okay, busted over the clown's head, and then it's like, oh, are they going to go at it? And then they just start laughing, and it's like, okay, haha, I don't know, I could have did without that, but, they got to keep furthering that storyline.
Like, because it's just like breaking, like, like kind of like the idea that there's seriousness in the show, because remember they were like, and then it's like, good night, everybody. I'm like, what am I watching? Watching a talk show? Am I watching like like?
Yeah, you're watching like Married with Children or something.
Yeah, am I watching Family Feud here? Like, who won? Who won the car?
Yeah.
Like I just didn't like. But the one thing that made me laugh, and I know it did too, for you, everything like producer, writer,
director,
everything like Chris Jericho. So at least Dynamite, like you and I always said, is like they're in that comfortable place that like they feel that they can go out in certain routes, knowing that they're gonna piss a lot of people off, but they don't care.
Because they're like, hey, we have our 800,000 fans every week are gonna watch. Oh, we're not bringing in new fans, but at least we can say, oh, we beat NXT, and have their little party, their little noisemakers, and be like, woo, and it's like, that, but that doesn't mean anything, because if NXT is a legit show, but if you want to look in the eyes of WWE, their big things are Raw and SmackDown. NXT to them is like, that's Triple H's little thing, okay.
Yes, exactly, and that's absolutely, like, that assessment is probably how every single person in the WWE looks at each other and says, yeah, that's how it's always going to be. Because as long as McMahon is in charge, Raw and SmackDown is what matters. NXT is like, we do that too. Yeah, that's also WWE. So family, thank you so very much for watching this review, Jean-Paul, myself. Don't forget, to check us out online. We have a lot of content coming out. We have NXT tomorrow. We'll have SmackDown. We'll have even more things, for you guys. So, Jean-Paul, remind everybody where they can find us in the social media world.
Well, you can find us on Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, the original Rope Break on Instagram, and, of course, the original Rope Break right here on YouTube for the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community. And don't forget to check out Rope Break and everything else on alleverythingentertainment.com.
Exactly. For the guys that wanted to just the audio version because they cannot stand to see our faces, we're also on SoundCloud under All Everything Wrestling, like every single review, starting out with Jean-Paul, Monday Night Raw. A lot of people are loving it. Thank you so very much for that. Or if you want to see the video version of every single thing of our reviews, interviews, everything that we do, don't forget, right here for the meat and potatoes, like Jean-Paul says, the original rubric on YouTube. So Jean-Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say. And what is that?